Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My portion in this report is actually very brief because I am here to introduce the chair of the Transportation Commission. This is the evening for Transportation to provide a report to the council on their activities. And after a 3-year period of Nancy Nelson as the chair, we have a new chair this year, a new member at the helm, which is Chair Don Meyer. So he's going to tell you a bit about what Transportation's been up to and where we're heading. Don?
Don Meyer, 1018 Alturas Drive, Moscow. Mayor Lambert and members of the council, I'm pleased to be here this evening to report on the accomplishments of the Transportation Commission this last year. We continue to strive to fulfill our mandate to advise and recommend actions to the council concerning transportation issues in Moscow. First item I have is Moscow on the Move Transportation Program. That was a study that Nelson Nygaard did, and their initial milestones were to develop a set of visionary and achievable transportation principles and objectives that will guide investment, management, and operation of Moscow's local transportation systems. One element of the study was green walks, and the first of these is currently being built on the University of Idaho campus on Deacon Street in front of the Sub and the bookstore. The purpose of the green walks is to funnel student pedestrian traffic into the crosswalks for safer crossings and by incorporating greenery and traffic calming measures into the design. And these are going to continue to be used. There's another one scheduled, as you probably know, to be used on 6th Street over by the Living and Learning Center and that crossing. Next item is the replat of Indian Hills number 6. The developer sent a request for a replat to the projected park in the development at the corner of Apony Street and Blaine Street. The developer proposed adding 2 additional lots to the proposed park. One lot would be purchased by the city and the other would be donated by the developer, as well as vacating path easements to the park across existing lots on Alturas Drive. The Commission recommended approval of the replat to Council as we felt easements on Alturas lots were not necessary because of better access with the addition, better street access with the addition of the 2 additional lots. Also, the Commission would like to see a standard toolbox of traffic calming devices implemented to be used in future transportation development. These would include green walks and roundabouts, both full-size and mini, which, for instance, could be used in something like the development of the 3rd Street bridge crossing to finish off 3rd Street to make for safer pedestrian use and addressing residential concerns about traffic. And that the green walks would, and the in combination with the circles, would slow down traffic and also make for safer crossings for pedestrian traffic in the area. We also revisited the primary plat for Ridgeview 2, focusing on on-street parking and bike lanes. We continued this year to identify sidewalks and curbs within the city that were not ADA compliant in our continuing efforts to make the city more handicap accessible. This could also apply, we feel, to vegetation management in some areas of the city. We have noticed some areas where overhanging trees and shrubbery can create access problems for individuals in wheelchairs or with other handicaps. These areas need to be reevaluated on an ongoing basis. We also continue to study safe bike routes in an ongoing manner this year and have, for the most part, identified what we feel are the safest routes for cyclists to use. We will continue to reevaluate these routes as city growth continues. Another topic that came up for discussion this year was bike riding on sidewalks in the downtown corridor. This issue came from last year's city survey, as citizens were concerned about the potential for accidents between pedestrians and cyclists in the downtown corridor. We identified the area between 1st and 6th Streets as the area most affected. We did not feel it was necessary to implement an ordinance to solve this problem, but instead to implement measures encouraging cyclists to voluntarily comply with a pedestrian dismount zone and walking their bicycles downtown, or also implementing sharrows and signage identifying impacted areas, and as well as education. This plan was recommended to the council and implemented and currently seems to be working well. I would like to give special mention of Nancy Nelson's leadership and hard work on this issue. In the future, we will continue to look at traffic management, the traffic calming toolbox, uncontrolled intersections and truck routes. We will continue working on sidewalk, ADA compliance, and identifying safe bike routes. And that's my report.
Thank you, Don. And council got questions or comments for Don? Art?
Have you submitted the safe bike routes to the Paradise Path Task Force people?
They have seen the maps. They've been to our meetings, and they've also had input on that.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, Don, thank you very much for that excellent report.
Thank you.